bleeding the brakes on a 690 Duke. This is a 2013. So to bleed the brakes, let me move my light around. Okay, that nipple right there, I'm gonna highlight it for you. It pops off. So you're looking at that. You want to find a piece of rubber hose to slide on there, and the hex bolt just underneath it. You don't want to loosen the whole thing, not down here, but up here is where you'll put your wrench. I think is an 8mm on this bike. It's probably an 8mm on everything, really. But so you'll load the brakes, and when I say load the brakes, I mean come up to your lever and squeeze, 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 and hold. Squeeze, 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 and hold. And while you're holding, you want to crack that valve, and fluid will begin to leave the brake system. Fluid, air bubbles, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, you want to get some fresh fluid. With this bike, you can either use .4 or .5.1. .4, .5.1. The manual recommends Motorex 5.1 or .4 of some kind. I don't remember. But any .4 or .5.1 fluid will work. The difference between the two is boiling point. This isn't a track bike, so you know they're not getting hot enough to boil brake fluid anyway. But you can this reservoir right here, you can take the cap off it, but before you start, it's not going to explode. But when you take the cap off of it, you'll be looking it down at an oil level probably around there, and you'll keep it covered. I take the screws off, and there's a little bladder, a rubber bladder underneath the cap that stays with the cap, so both of those come off. And make sure you keep all this very clean. You don't want trash in your brake system. But then you'll put the cover back on it. Don't tighten it. Don't put the screws in it. Just rest the cover back on it, because while you're pumping the brakes, the little piston in there is gonna want to pop fluid out. So keep it. And brake fluid is very corrosive. It'll eat up the graphics. It'll peel paint. It'll corrode metal. It's pretty harsh. So make sure you got plenty of shop rags. Plenty of shop rags to keep it. Make sure you got plenty of shop rags to keep it clean. And you basically, if you want to replace all of the brake fluid, you certainly can. Just keep the same process. Load the brake system and crack. Load the brake system and then crack the screw with it loaded. Tighten the screw back down. Release the brake pressure. If you release the lever while this is open, then you're going to pull air back into the line, which is going in the opposite direction of what you're trying to do. So yeah, that's basically it. You want to have obviously something to catch, a drain pan to catch the fluid, yeah, that same process works on just about every single bike.